Whether you feel like you're living in the upside down or you just want to feel more grounded or live in a wiser way, you might do what a lot of us do, which is look to quotes from our most respected teachers. And so today I want to explore with you 10 of my favorite quotes from a teacher who has had a huge influence on my life and millions of lives around the world, Thich Nhat Hanh. Thich Nhat Hanh's been known as the father of mindfulness. He is the person who really pioneered modern mindfulness into the West, and also has shown us that we can use what he's teaching us not only to heal ourselves, but as actions that can move out into healing the larger world. Stay tuned. If you're new here, then my name is Dr. Elisha Goldstein. I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm the founder of the Mindful Living Collective and creator of the breakthrough personal coaching program, Uncover the Power Within. If you're interested in working with me more regularly, an incredibly supportive community, and a proven training curriculum to help you feel a greater sense of personal control over your mind and your life so you can focus more on what matters and enjoy life more, then click on the link in the description below. Okay, so the first quote is something practical we can bring into our lives. It can make really a deep impact if we bring it into our lives every day. I found a wonderful site that I'm going to share with you that brings a lot of its quotes together called the Thich Nhat Hanh Collective. And so here it is. And here's the quote that I wanted to share with you. Bring it down a little bit. When we walk like we are rushing, which many of us do, we print anxiety and sorrow on the earth. We have to walk in a way that we only print peace and serenity on the earth. Be aware of the contact between your feet and the earth. Walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet, which reminds me of this experience of a soul kiss. Soul meaning the bottom of your foot, but also meaning your soul. So that when you're walking, like each step is a soul kiss. And we can think of it like that. And isn't it true when we're rushing, we're printing anxiety and sorrow on the earth. We're also printing it in our soul almost. We're keeping that energy going. But if we slow down and we actually feel the connection of our feet to the earth, it allows us to bring a bit more peace and serenity, not just on the earth, but you can think of that contact, that's what you're giving the earth as you're walking it that way, and walking on it that way, and that can also give you something. But even just for yourself, just that walking and feeling the connection of your feet on the earth actually turns the volume down in your thinking and helps you come into a place of greater peace and ease. Okay, second quote. Today, anything is possible because you are alive. Everything is possible, right? So because you are alive, everything is possible. So this is a quote that's filled with hope. It's filled with a sense of flexibility of mind. Oftentimes when we're feeling anxious or depressed or just not well in general, our brain becomes a bit more rigid or chaotic. And so we step into this place that say, you know what, because I'm alive, maybe there's more possibilities than my mind is thinking of. Maybe I can go, instead of just sitting here and dwelling or wallowing in my experience or sitting here and just being frenetic in my anxiety, maybe I can ask myself what I need and I can go on a walk, or I can call a friend, or I can make something, or I can clean an area of my house, or I can do something that gives me a sense of pleasure or accomplishment. Or maybe I can think bigger and vision bigger, and I can accomplish more than I ever thought I could. I never thought I could write a book in my life. It wasn't until I saw my dad write a book that I thought, you know what? Wow, if he can do it, maybe I can do it. And I saw another mentor of mine publish a CD program prior to that. I thought, you know what, if he can publish a CD program, I can publish a CD program. And so I was able to do that. Because you are alive, everything is possible. Okay, third quote. This is maybe a little harder for you to read almost because it's smaller, but I'm putting these in like these memes that I'm finding on the site that are correlated with these quotes that I love. Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. So this speaks to this idea that emotions are energy in motion. They come and go. And they're like clouds in the sky, or like everything else in nature, they come and go. And things are made up of energy, and all energy shifts and changes and comes and goes. And so here we are when we are feeling sadness or anger or even joy or lightness, we can begin to recognize that these feelings have an impermanent nature to them. So when I allow myself to come down from the busyness of my mind or the hecticness of this energy that's here, and allow myself to be aware of my breath, it becomes an anchor to the present moment. I'm not necessarily dwelling on the past anymore. I'm not worrying and catastrophizing about the future. I'm just here in this present moment, anchoring myself. A little bit of the neuroscience behind that, by the way, is that when we're able to just be here with this breath, turns the volume down on the part of our brain that's actually worrying, thinking, and defaulting to trying to problem solve and fix everything. So there's an inverse relationship like justice scales. When one is up, the other one tends to go down. And so our breathing, when we get really good at it, being aware of our breath in this way, we can really use it as an anchor to this present moment as things come and go, as the storms in our minds and bodies shift and change. Okay, next quote. We'll see if you can, it might be small on your screen, but hopefully you can read it. The ocean of suffering is immense, but if you turn around, you can see the land. The seed of suffering in you may be strong, but don't wait until you have no more suffering before allowing yourself to be happy. When one tree in the garden is sick, you have to take care of it. But don't overlook all the healthy trees, even while you have pain in your heart, and you can enjoy the many wonders of life. The beautiful sunset, the smile of a child, the many flowers and trees. To suffer is not enough. Please don't be imprisoned by your suffering. Incredible. This reminds me of the quote, wherever your focus goes, energy flows, or it reminds me of the quote by Jon Kabat-Zinn where he says, there's another mindfulness teacher who says, as long as you're living and breathing, there's more right with you than wrong with you. So again, when we tend to not feel well, when we tend to become anxious or feel kind of down or depressed, get caught in our past trauma, our brain defaults to the negativity bias. The negative stuff is so sticky. But what Thich Nhat Hanh says here, or as his students and followers call him, Thai, which means teacher, says, hey, there is a lot. Yeah, of course, there's so much suffering that could be here. At the same time, there's other things here. One of my students in the Uncover the Power Within program said something so beautiful around parenting. She said, you know what? When I feel really overwhelmed and stressed, what I do is I look at my daughter and I start looking at her eyelashes and the small features on her face and realize how beautiful they are and how intricate they are and how precious they are. And that's also there at the same time. So while this difficulty is happening, all these other beauties are happening too. Let's not allow ourselves to only focus on the challenges, but also be aware of the beauty of this life at the same time, and then see what you notice. Okay, all right, next one. And this one's also a little bit small. I'll give you the full picture here of the art that's here. Breathing in, and this is what Thich Nhat Hanh is so famous for. He does such a beautiful way of creating a certain saying while aligning it with the breath. Breathing in, I'm aware of my body. Breathing out, I celebrate my body. So much to celebrate here. There's so much working for us. Our heart is pumping. Our lungs are allowing us to breathe this air. Breathing in, I feel calm in my body. Breathing out, I release the tension in my body. If you want to pause the video here and just rewind, I'm going to read this in a way where you can close your eyes and you can practice it. You don't have to do that, but if you want to and have that experience, go ahead. So get in a comfortable position. You can gently allow your eyes to close. Breathing in, I'm aware of my body. Breathing out, I celebrate my body. Breathing in, I feel calm in my body. Breathing out, I release the tension in my body. So if you did that or you just followed it right now, see what you notice from that. One of the very introductory aspects of teaching meditation or mindfulness or just living well in life, and it's the foundation, initial foundation within the Uncover the Power Within program, is learning how to release the tension in your body, to relax and retune your nervous system. And so just play with this on its own and see if this has a positive impact in the moments of your life today and tomorrow. Okay, next quote. Here's the art of this again. For things to reveal themselves to us, we need to be ready to abandon our views about them. For things to reveal themselves to us, we need to be ready to abandon our views about them. There's so much wisdom in this quote. And let me explain it. Let me explain what that is if you aren't seeing it. So what this is saying is as we grow up in life, our brain habituates to things. The nature of our brain is to freeze things, to put it in a box, so it can handle more things, so it can see this person and say, I know who this person is. I don't have to think about it too much, so I can know who this person is and also do this work project at the same time. Or I know exactly what this food is going to taste like. I don't like it, or I like that food. Or I know that when I get really stressed, what's soothing to me is stress eating, or yelling at my kids, or, and so we can get into, or drinking. We can get into unhealthy behaviors as well. So what this is saying is, for things to reveal themselves to us, for us to have insight, we need to be ready to abandon our views about them. So we need to be able to step aside and bring a beginner's mind, a sense of curiosity to the moment. Maybe this person has changed over time a little bit. Maybe there's more to them than I knew 10 years ago. Maybe that's the same with myself. Maybe I'm not an anxious person. If we call ourselves an anxious person, guess what? We're going to be an anxious person. Maybe there's more to me than that. Maybe in the past I labeled myself as an anxious person. Going forward, I'll notice that there's anxiety there, and there's also all these other things. I have these new tools and ways to meet it. So I'm actually more of a confident person, or I'm growing in confidence over my emotional life. So there's different ways of doing it. Maybe in the past I said, well, I'm a stress eater. Well, maybe in the past I've been a stress eater, but let me actually investigate the nature of what I'm avoiding by doing that. And I can break free from that rigidity. I can bring a sense of curiosity and a beginner's mind to life, so I can feel more connected with other human beings, more connected with myself, and actually live a bit more intentionally in this life. Okay, a lot of freedom in that. Okay, next one. Today, be in the present moment. So Thich Nhat Hanh says, the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. This goes with the earlier quote we had about don't be married to your suffering, where in this one he says, all right, so again, wherever your focus goes, we invite an energy to flow. And in this one, it reminds me of a practice I do with people where I say, all right, take 5 seconds to look around you and see if you can record everything around you that's brown. And so you can do that right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now close your eyes and see if you can remember everything around you that's green. Now, if you're like most people, you'll have a hard time remembering that. However, all that green stuff is there, I promise you. One of the things we do in my Uncover the Power Within program is we do these walk and talks. And inevitably, we practice together, bringing mindfulness into our daily life while moving. And then we move more into personalized coaching after that. But inevitably, as we do that, in the beginning, as we allow ourselves to be more present to the walking outside or inside, typically what happens is we start to notice things that we didn't know were there. One woman recently noticed this whole stream that, as she took a walk, that she knew was there, but never gave herself the opportunity to just sit by and be with, and noticed that the rush of the stream and the sound was so soothing to her mind and body. And now she realized she had access to this. Or other people noticed the sounds of birds around us. Did you know that having more birds around you, like in your environment, actually is correlated with feeling happier? There's actually research on that. Or other people notice that as they engage their laundry because they're inside, they can have a different relationship with that, and it's no longer this thing to do, but it's something that they can actually move through in a soothing way and feel more relaxed on the other end of it. So much green around us, but we don't see it because our brain defaults to that negativity bias. So the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. Just like that woman I described in our program who looks at her daughter's eyelashes. Same idea. If you are attentive, you will see it. Okay, next quote. Here we go. You can choose what to focus on and therefore what to be. You can choose to be your in-breath and out-breath. You can choose to listen with your whole being to the sound of the rain or the wind. and in some way to be one with the rain or the wind. Listening to sounds in this way can be very joyful. Then you are in touch with these refreshing and healing elements. You are being and not thinking. And that's the issue, is we oftentimes get caught dwelling in the past or worrying about the future, and we're thinking. It's our number one bad habit. But really in this life, we want to be able to dwell in the moment. We want to be here for it. So many years from now, at the end of life, we look back and say, I was there. And also what's spoken to in this quote is that same thing that that quote that's been attributed to Viktor Frankl, who's a Holocaust survivor and a neurologist, who said, between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. So here we are. We're saying, like, we can step into this space of awareness. We have more choice. And with our choice, we can choose to focus on things that nurture us, that feed us, that bring us joy, that are more filled with wonder. All of that stuff is here. And we can choose to do that now with our focus. Okay. The final quote that I want to, or one more quote, the next quote, that I want to bring to us here is, spirituality is not religion. It is a path for us to generate happiness. And if spirituality kind of like says, oh, spirituality, what's that? Spirituality is just a sense of like, oh, wow, the world isn't just about me. There's something greater out there than just me and that I'm connected to, right? Spirituality is not just religion. It is a path for us to generate happiness, understanding, and love, so we can live deeply each moment of our life. Having a spiritual dimension in our lives does not mean escaping life or dwelling in a place of bliss outside this world, but discovering ways to handle life's difficulties and generate peace, joy, and happiness right where we are on this beautiful planet. And I think if there's one thing that Thich Nhat Hanh reminds me of, one of the things that he's taught me so well in this life, it's that life is only lived here. That's it. It isn't some outside place. It's through this life, the wonders of being human, through our challenges, beautiful moments of life. This is the experience of being human, and we can bring that sense of interconnectedness or connected to something greater right here in this space. Okay, so now this final quote, I've left this one really intentionally, because this is one that shares that what we do in life has ripple effects across the people that view us and see us. And this is well documented in the research around emotional contagion and behavioral contagion. And so know that your practice in this work, or living well or being healthy in your own way, has impact on the people that you care about, and even strangers that see you. So let's move into this. When you walk with mindfulness, you set an example for everyone who sees you, even if you don't realize it. When we see you walking with freedom, with peace, with joy, we may be motivated by the desire to mirror you, which, by the way, is so common in our culture. It's native to us to mirror the people around us. Together, without effort, we create more of an atmosphere of peace and happiness. So this is upon us. Our work in taking care of ourselves and loving ourselves and bringing more presence and awareness in our lives isn't only for us. It's for the people that we live with. It's for the people we love. It's for the friends and family around us. It's for the people we're in contact with in our workplace. It's for the strangers who view us and see us. One of the practices I have is this practice of looking around me and seeing the people around me who are really taking care of themselves, like whether they're jogging on the street, they're laughing and spending time with friends. And I say in my mind, good for you. You're a human being just like me, who wants to feel cared about and understood, who wants a sense of happiness in this world and a sense of belonging. And you're really taking care of yourself. Good for you. And I have a whole video here that I'll leave on the other end. It's just a simple trick for joy in our lives, and it integrates this, talks a little bit more about it. And so here's what he's talking about. He's talking about this is greater than ourselves. And it's such a beautiful message. So I hope you enjoyed this. If this was supportive for you, please remember to like this below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe to this channel. That shares with YouTube like, hey, this is something that might be supportive for other people. And if you want to have more regular contact with me and work with me, more specifically within a group program that has a proven curriculum and has regular access to me and an incredibly supportive community, click on the link in the description below to the Uncover the Power Within program. I'm going to leave a few of my favorite videos on the end of this for you to continue to grow and learn with. I look forward to seeing you next time.